Okay, so this is the update that literally nobody asked for, but so my daughter, almost 3, she yesterday took her to the pediatrician because she was on day 5 of a fever and a really bad cough. Took her in. She listened to her lungs for a long time, which was concerning, of course. And then she said that if she wasn't getting any better, the fever was not gone in 2 days, then to bring her back for a chest x-ray. Which like concerned me, obviously. And then she said like RSV is going around really bad right now with kids, so but I mean we could test for it, but it doesn't really matter because there's nothing we can do for it. So just give it a couple more days and come back if she's not any better. And I was like, okay. So go home. She is like hysterical the rest of the day, like just crying, and her fever was bad even with meds. Like it was just stressful. Finally got her down for a nap, and I'm just laying there with her, and I can see her breathing is like weird. I'm gonna put the video on here of what her breathing looks. So that's what that looked like, which was concerning. So I sent it to like my sister. I kind of just like sat on it. Like I'm like, maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I have an outlet, so let me put that on her and see what her oxygen is, because that's what really matters, right? At least I think. So I put the outlet on her, and it was going from like 95 to 98, 95 to 98. And so I was like, okay, she's fine. Like, you Google it and it's like, it's fine as long as it's like 93 and above or something. I was like, okay. But then like she was just so miserable, and her coughing, like I've never heard a kid cough like that. Like it was literally like every 5 seconds, between every 5 and 10 seconds she would cough. She couldn't like talk without coughing. It's just rough. So freaking gets like about time to put her to bed, and I'm just worried about her. So I called like the on-call pediatrician, told him what was going on. And I was like, can I send you the video of her breathing? And he was like, no. He's like, can you just explain what it is? And so I explained it was like, just she was using like her stomach muscles to breathe and all that. And he was like, yeah, you need to go to the ER. I was like, but her oxygen is fine. Like, he was like, yeah, you need to just go to the ER and just get a chest x-ray, just make sure everything is fine. He was because sometimes like their oxygen can be fine because they're working so hard, and then it will just crash. I was like, all right. So, I'm freaking out, but still, like, nobody wants to go to the ER. Does anybody else have that fear that you're going to go and they're going to be like, you're fine, everything is fine? And you just feel stupid and like you wasted all your money. But for your kid, it's a little bit different. You're like, it's worth that money for peace of mind. So we went to the ER. She, of course, goes in there and is just like, hey, everybody, I'm Emmy. I'm almost 3. Like, acting like she's never been sick ever in her life. Turns on the charm. I'm like, what is this? Anyways, so her oxygen there when they first put it on was like 91, which freaked everybody out. But they repositioned it and it got up to 95. It stayed at 95 the rest of the time. They did a chest x-ray, and long story short, she's fine. They tested her for RSV. It was negative. They did the chest x-ray. He said it looked normal. He said it's just a nasty virus that's going around. You just got to let it run its course. So yeah. My husband said that was the most expensive peace of mind I think you could buy. Anyway, so I slept with her last night, and she slept terrible again. And she was honestly had a fever again this morning. I was like, what the heck? Like, when is this going to be done? But this afternoon, she hadn't had fever and hadn't had Motrin, and she was acting much better. Her cough was like normal. Yeah, so she's fine. Yeah, thanks for listening.